What's up, everybody? It's PJ the Great, and just wanted to do a little follow-up video on the craziest 2 days ever vlog that I posted. It was pretty much talking about my doctor's appointment and going in to discover that I was ADHD, something that I knew that I had, and I'm just finally glad to have it official, so now I can do something about it. But I just wanted to share with you guys my story and what I've been going through for all of my life leading up until that day that I finally got the proper diagnosis. Now, going all the way back to, I would say, junior high school, that's when I first started to notice that I had symptoms of ADHD, but I knew something was off because when I was in grade school, I was like an honor roll student. I had my picture taken for the local newspaper twice for being like one of the smartest kids in Clark County. But when junior high school came in, when you're responsible for changing classes on your own and keeping up with all your homework and not having as much guidance from the teachers like you do when you're in grade school, that's when I started to notice that my grades were dropping, and a lot of that was due to not being able to pay attention in class. I was known as like the class clown. I was always joking around, or if I wasn't doing that, I was always acting up by saying things in class that I shouldn't be saying and calling teachers out of the name and constantly being suspended. That was like in junior high school. Then when high school rolled around, I kind of tamed my behavior. I wasn't getting suspended as much, but I was like a space cadet in classes, not paying attention, not doing my work, zoning out, and I was like extremely depressed because I didn't really have a lot of friends. I was like really overweight when I was in junior high and high school, so, and a lot of people made fun of me because of that, so I didn't really have a lot of friends, so that caused me to, you know, just zone out. I would be in class and I would be imagining what my life would be like if I were popular and in shape and like the captain of the football team and stuff like that, and I just wasn't doing well in school. It wasn't until after my junior year in high school I fell in love with this show called A Different World, and there's this character on there played by Kadeem Hardison named Dwayne Wayne, and he was a computer engineer, and that's what I wanted to be in. So my senior year I was able to hyper focus, the thing that us ADHDers are famous for being able to do, and I got straight A's and B's in my senior year. So I was smart, even though I was getting like D's, sometimes F's, low C's my senior year in high school, because I was able to hyper focus because it was crunch time and this was my last chance. I received a letter in the mail saying that I was one of the top minority senior graduates in all of Clark County. That's how well I did. But it was a little too late because going into my senior year I had a 1.3 GPA, and even though I had straight A's and B's, and I had, I think, was a 3.7 GPA in my senior year, it only raised my overall GPA to a 1.7. So despite my shortcomings in high school, I wasn't gonna let that stop me. I still wanted to go to college. I applied for a bunch of different colleges. I decided to go to community college locally here in Vegas, and I enrolled as a computer science major. Everything was going fine. I was like acing my computer classes. I was acing my extracurricular classes like Spanish, but one of the things that you really need if you're going to be a computer science major is math, and I sucked at math. In pre-calculus, I wasn't doing good in that as well. F's and D's on the homework. I started working with the professor after classes, and he coached me through the homework. Then I started getting A's and B's in the homework because he was coaching me through it. But in every test he gave us in the classroom, F, because I couldn't retain the information and ended up failing pre-calculus. So I ended up ending my dream of being a computer scientist and decided that I was going to switch my major to English because I was really good at English, and aced the English placement test, changed my major to English, but then eventually ended up dropping out because I couldn't stay focused on it. And yeah, that was signs right there that something was wrong. But still, even at that time and at that point in time in my life, I didn't even know what ADHD was. So I just thought it was lack of focus and just being lazy and not being able to do it. Adulthood, I've noticed there's a lot of things going wrong with me. Like I wasn't able to stay on top of my finances. I would splurge on stuff that I didn't need. I would buy stuff that I didn't need. I would forget to pay bills on time. And that was like a major issue in my life. It wasn't until online banking came out that was like my saving grace, because I was able to go online to my bank and schedule all my bills to pay themselves. Because before that, I would always pay bills late and ruin my credit score. Had to file bankruptcy one time because I just couldn't focus on doing the things that were necessary. I was more focused on doing things that were fun, like hanging out with my friends and pursuing other things that were fun, like screenwriting, writing music, performing music. I would put more emphasis on that than actual day-to-day things that you need to survive, like actually paying your bills. Another issue is with friends. I am very fortunate that I have a handful of friends now. I don't have as many friends as I used to because I kind of pushed them away, and that's like a symptom of like ADHD, because we could be known as being the life of the party. Everybody wants to be around us. We're always joking around, having fun, spontaneous, always wanting to do something that's just going to like be fun and make everybody happy and have a good time. And that's what draws a lot of people to us. But then we have like these mood swings. I know I have these mood swings where at one point I want to be the life of the party and I want everyone around me and I want all attention on me and I want to entertain everybody, but then I'll get into this mood where I don't want anybody around me, I don't want anybody bothering me, I won't answer phone calls, I won't hang out. I've lost like a lot, and I mean a lot of really close and dear friends because of those mood swings, and I never really knew what was the cause of it. I just labeled it to, like, a lot of times when I didn't want to be bothered, it was depression, but I didn't know that depression and even anxiety was a direct result of being ADHD. Now, all throughout my professional life, I've always had issues in the workplace. The issues that I've had is not being able to focus on my work and get my work 100% of my attention. So a lot of times, like during the day while I'm at work, while a lot of people are focusing and concentrating on the work and the task that needs to be done, I would do it here and there, but I would also be like goofing around, like talking to other coworkers or surfing the internet or just daydreaming about what I was going to do when I got out of work. And the direct result of that was when it came time to leave work, everybody's leaving work, they're happy, they're talking about what kind of activities they're going to participate when they get out of the office, going to happy hours, stuff like that, going to the gym, going to play some hoops or whatever. And I was the only one, no matter what job I had, I was the only one walking out of the office with a briefcase. And the reason why is because I couldn't concentrate at work and I wouldn't give work my 100% attention. So I would never get my tasks done, so I would have to bring them home and get my tasks done for an extra 3, 4, 5 hours at home just to keep up with everybody else. Again, didn't really chalk that up to being ADHD. I did think about it, and it came up only because I was with my fiance at the time, ex-fiance. Her son had ADHD, so I decided to look into it, and I got a diagnosis that I had it. Not really a diagnosis, I just explained the symptoms, and the doctor put me on Strattera, and it helped, and I was able to focus at work, and I was getting things done. But then I got off the Strattera because my ex-fiance, kind of got pissed off at me and said that, you know, what I was claiming as having ADHD was a slap in her son's face because her son had ADHD and I didn't show the same symptoms as he did. So with the pressure of her saying that I was pretty much mocking her son, I got off the Strattera, and then my work performance started to drop again. Which kind of sucks. I wish I wouldn't have let her talk me out of it, but once that happened, I went back to my old ways, not being able to complete work at work, daydreaming, doing whatever, doing anything to like avoid work and procrastinating and putting stuff off, and always having to bring work home. And then it wasn't until recently in my current job where I was discovered. I wasn't vocal about bringing my work home, but it was pretty apparent that I was doing it. And then I was told I wasn't allowed to do it anymore. And then my work performance went downhill, and now I can't get anything done right. I can't get anything done during my work shift. I'm constantly being questioned on why I can't get my work done, what's going on, why can't I concentrate at work, why am I doing things wrong. And it's all a direct result because that mask was lifted and I wasn't able to compensate for not being able to do the work at work by bringing it home. And it just it's causing like a lot of chaos and turmoil in the workplace, which completely sucks. And I kind of think of it as like a blessing in disguise because it really helped me buckle down and think to myself, okay, there's something going on. You need to figure out what it is. You thought it was ADHD before. I really think this is the issue. So with the performance at work dropping, it caused like a lot of depression, a lot of beat myself up. I was known as the rock star at work. Now I kind of feel like I'm the GOAT, and I'm not talking about the LL Cool J kind, not the greatest of all time, but the actual GOAT, the guy that can't get anything done, the guy that everybody complains about behind his back. And it's caused like a lot of depression, something that it's been like hitting me really hard, and I've been trying to find ways to cope with it. It's causing a lot of anxiety because when I'm confronted by my boss or teammates, it causes a lot of anxiety, and I start to have like panic attacks, heart palpitations, uncontrollable crying, because I'm not able to keep up anymore, because I'm not able to go to my old coping mechanism. And it's at first, you know, like a lot of people were telling me, it's just anxiety and because of your situation at work. But as I start to do a little bit more research, I found out that's one of the like symptoms that comes along with ADHD is the depression, because you feel like you're less than and you're stupid and you're not like everybody else, and the anxiety because you can't perform like everybody else is performing. So then it causes this anxiety, and then like the anger issues as well, because I was lashing out at a lot of people in my personal life and lashing out at people at work. And that's another issue too, because like people with ADHD, they can't control their emotions. And I felt like, okay, this is this is something that's bigger than me. It's something bigger that's going on in here because I can't switch it on, I can't switch it off. It just happens without me even knowing that it's gonna happen. It just happens. So that's when I decided, you know, enough was enough. It's time to go in and get a proper diagnosis and figure out, you know, if in fact I am ADHD. And finally, after a lot of rigmarole, it took like a month. I went through living hell trying to get the diagnosis. I started off with the counselor that I was seeing on a bi-weekly basis, and they told me they don't specialize in it, and informed that I needed to speak to my primary care physicians, refer me to a specialist, a psychiatrist. I was tested, and lo and behold, I do have ADHD. I haven't started the medication yet. They're starting me off, I should say, on Adderall, XR, I think it's called, 20 milligrams to start off with, to see how I respond to that. Excited, if that makes any kind of sense, because I just know that there was an issue and all I really wanted was help with the issue, and now I'm finally getting the help that I feel like I need. I know it's going to take a lot more than just a pill to help me. It's going to take some coping mechanisms as well in order to, you know, get through it and learn how to live with it. But the medication is a very big step. Now, I also think on top of ADHD that I also have OCD, or a small case of OCD. But first things first, I'm going to try and nip the ADHD in the bud, and then I'll talk to the psychiatrist about the OCD that I have as well. And I'll keep you guys all posted. If you like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and push that subscribe button. But don't forget to push that little bell so you'll be notified every time I upload new videos. And until the next time I see you with an ADHD update or tech review. And speaking of tech review, I got something pretty cool to share with you guys tech wise. I'll give you a little hint. That video is coming soon. Audi 5000G